Florida has always been a popular tourist destination, but long before Cypress Gardens and Disney World, there was a one-of-a-kind mansion in the heart of Central Florida.
Hi, I'm Laura Madrell with Visit Central Florida. Nestled in this charming little neighborhood in Bartow, you'll find an architectural marvel aptly known as the Wonder House.
When doctors gave him only 1 year to live, Conrad Shuck packed up his family and started construction on his dream house. With its concrete walls inlaid with glass tile mosaics, it's no wonder the unique homestead quickly became a popular tourist destination from the 30s to 60s. After many years of being vacant, however, the iconic home fell into disrepair. Fortunately, in 2015, a young couple fell in love with the undeniable charm of the Wonder House and made it their mission to restore the estate to its former glory. In fact, you can watch a part of the restoration process on the Netflix original show Amazing Interiors. Today, the home is finally open again for guided tours, which means that visitors and locals alike can experience this important piece of Central Florida history.
My name is Kristen Crease. I'm one of the owners of the Wonder House. We're both really invested in history, Drew and I. And so when we first came upon the house, we thought, wow, this is an amazing structure, like how cool, and then we realized it was for sale. The man who built the house, his name was Conrad Shuck. He was born in 1877 up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He kept on working on the house. Him and his 5 sons primarily worked on it. He had a small crew of men. And in the 30s, a man from Britain said, why aren't you charging for admission? Like, you have such a unique home and people just want to see all the crazy inventions, because Conrad Shuck was not just, a builder, he was an engineer and inventor. The house is full of inventions. People came to see all those pickled snakes that would line the basement. They would come to see the water running through the walls, and you would turn a spigot on the wall and it would water all your plants all across the porches. The water would be held up in reservoirs up on the roof, so on the 4th floor, and it would go down the walls, and it would hold the house a little bit cooler. The house is shaped like a cross, so when you lit the fireplace on the 2nd floor, the hot air would rise, which would cause all that cold air to suck through with your cross breeze, and it would just cool the house. There's a 21 square foot lazy Susan in the kitchen that rotates and closes all at the same time. It still works 93 years later. Him and his 5 sons primarily worked on the house. The reason the family never really wanted the house, well, the sons and the daughters, is because they worked to death on the house. The reason we have our beautiful mosaic floors is because those children painstakingly took the tiles, individually wrapped them in newspaper, and set them into the concrete, which took 8 to 14 weeks per porch. His family never lived in the house because Conrad Shuck never thought the Wonder House was truly finished. So he never lived in the house with his family. They lived down the street on Kissingen. So he never lived in the house, and the house never had any furnishings. So everything that's currently in the house is things that we've thought that he would like. He did have a lot of taxidermy and the pickled snakes and things like that. So we've tried to do everything as, what would Conrad Shuck do? What can we do as an ode to him? Because he's the one that came up with this insane house. We're just restoring it. People that come take a tour are our guests. They're not just visitors to a museum. They're our guests in our home. They're allowed to sit on our furniture, sit around our tables. It's nice. It's nice having guests come over. All the money from admission goes back into the house. Every other little bit helps so much because it gets the house further along in the process of restoration. Conrad Shuck opened the house to the public to finish his dream house. We're opening our home up to finish restoration of the house.
Tours are available Fridays at 7 p.m. and Saturdays and Sundays at 10 a.m., noon, and 2 p.m. All tours must be scheduled in advance via the Wonder House's website, and tours typically last an hour and a half. Remember, the Wonder House is a private residence. Parking for the tour is located in the rear of the property, accessible via El Paso Trail.
When visiting the Wonder House in Bartow, don't forget to stop by the free Polk County History Center, only 2 miles away.
Housed in a 1908 courthouse, this museum delves into the history of Central Florida's Polk County. You'll see several exhibits featuring past attractions and present-day favorites. From the imaginative builder to the dedicated current owners, it's clear to see that the Wonder House is still a testament to those willing to build their dreams into reality. Book your tour today.